Okay, folks, section 6.4, more about solving proportions. And I talked about this in the last lesson, okay? Some of you used it, some of you didn't. But the thing I talked about in the last lesson was cross multiplying. Anytime we have a fraction equaling a fraction, when I cross multiply, I get the same number. So, let's look here. It says, remember, if two fractions are equal, we get the same number when we cross multiply. And I put a little example here, okay? And you know what? I'm going to put parentheses around it because we're old enough now. We know that parentheses between two numbers means multiply them. So you can see that 6 over 18 equals 11 over 33. Because when I cross multiply, I get 6 times 33 equals 18 times 11. And you have a calculator, so you can check that. Or you have the one in your head, so you also can check it that way. 6 times 33 gives me 198, and 18 times 11 gives me 198. Okay? They both give me the same number when I cross multiply. That means those fractions are equal, Moreau. All right? And I put a little check there. All right? Now let's go down here to example number 1. And it says, oh, you know what? I need a little more space. We okay there? You ready? Okay, good. Example number 1 says, use cross multiplication to show that the proportion below has equal cross products. Okay? We're going to prove that these two things are equal. Allie, I'm going to write this a little bit bigger, okay? So I'm going to have 5 over 6 is equal to 35 over 42. Now, would you please tell me what to do? It's just like I did in the example above. What do I do? Okay, so Allie says, let's multiply 5 times 42. I'll do that. And then what, Allie? And 6 times 35. Now, if these two fractions are equal, then these two products need to be the same. Okay? Thank you, Allie. Aiden,
Yes.
will you tell me, what is 5 times 42?
5 times 42.
Aiden's using his head.
210.
210. Perfect, Aiden. Thank you, sir. Very nice. Okay? Emily,
Yes.
will you tell me, what is 6 times 35?
6 times 5.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm waiting. 210. Now, what does that tell me, Bailey? What does that tell me? That those two fractions are equal to each other. Perfect. Any questions about that? You guys feel good about that? Bailey, thank you. Emily, thank you. Aiden, Allie, thank you. Nice job. Let's look at the next one. Vivian, I'm sorry, did I need to answer a question for you?
It was if it's not equal.
If it's not equal, that tells us that it's not a proportion. Those two fractions aren't equal to each other.
Well, how would you tell which fraction is bigger?
How do I tell which fraction is bigger? Well, let's see. Let me go back. Let's see. There's a little trick, Vivian, that when we cross multiply, we multiply from the bottom up, and we write the answer in the top right hand, like above them, like this, and we compare those two numbers, and that tells us which fraction is bigger. Okay? So, for instance, if I had, let's just do this, 1/3 is equal to, question mark, right? 4/5. Now I know this one over here is the bigger one, right? Okay. Now watch what happens. Cross multiply from the bottom up. 3 times 4 is 12, right? And then from the bottom up, 5 times 1 is 5. Which of these two numbers is bigger? So this fraction is bigger. Okay? All right. Now, we weren't talking about that there, but nothing, it's good to look at it. Now, this next one, you know what? I don't have enough time to keep going here. Okay? So I'm going to pause. I'm going to stop this one, and we'll pick this one up on the next video.